This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, I'll call the June 10th City Council meeting to order. We have a quorum, and the City Administrator, Tony, is absent, and Heather is here in his place. Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we move to approve the agenda, I have two items. I had a couple residents call me and asked to talk about the signage down at Legion Field. I haven't seen the signs, but apparently not permitting golf carts down there. And then talk a little bit about the grass ordinance, the length of grass. So we can add 1 and 2 under new business. Anyone else have anything?
We need to add swimming lessons.
Under new business?
Yep.
Okay. Did you tell me that before?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's 5 blocks back to my house. I probably forgot. Okay. So we have 3 items under new business.
Move to approve the agenda with additions.
Second. Okay, a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Consent agenda items. We have a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda items.
Okay. We have a second? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor? Motion passes. Any public comments? Ordinance and resolutions. Ordinance number 205.01, Office of the City Administrator, Annual Audit, first reading. Do you want to read this or do you want me to?
Sure.
We don't?
Yeah.
I thought we've always read them in the past.
It's nice for people to nominate you.
Okay. Office of the City Administrator Annual Audit. There is hereby established the position of City Administrator. The offices of City Clerk and City Treasurer are hereby combined pursuant to MS 112.591. Sub 2, as it may be amended from time to time, the City Administrator is hereby appointed to be the Clerk Treasurer for the city and shall exercise all of the duties and responsibilities of a City Clerk and a City Treasurer as specified in MS Chapter 412 and elsewhere in the laws of the state and this code, as they may be amended from time to time. The City Administrator shall also be the City Zoning Administrator and shall execute all of the duties and responsibilities given this position by state law and this code, as may be amended from time to time. An annual audit of the city's financial affairs shall be conducted hereafter by the state auditor or a public accountant in accordance with minimum procedures prescribed by the state auditor. The auditor shall be appointed by the City Council.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a motion?
I've got a comment about, City Administrator shall also be the City Zoning Administrator. We have a planning and zoning board. Now, aren't they still relevant to,
I'm pretty sure they are.
well, yeah, but then if he's gonna be the zoning administrator, why have a planning and zoning? Because,
Well, we need him to give us stuff to vote on or look at and stuff like that.
well,
Because,
he does that job as the administrator.
right, but we don't look at it anyway. I can't say we don't look at it, but we don't have it at our fingertips. That's the reason I think it's there.
Well, plus they also make recommendations, kind of like the EDA does.
But you like,
It's just
So he's overseeing what the planning and zoning
Yeah.
does, and
because the council will make the final decision.
right, we approve or disapprove
Correct.
anything made by the zoning.
Yep.
But I just think that, I still think whoever your head of your planning and zoning board, your chairman or whatever, should be the you know, the top dog in that, and then reports to us, and then maybe, but anyway, it just. That's the only question I had was about that.
Okay,
I had one at the last, where it says the auditor shall be appointed by the city council. Is there a time frame that they're appointed and a length of time? It doesn't say it here.
An annual audit, we do it every year, Jason.
Right, but has that been appointed and who are they? You know now? Is it, Mankato people?
mm-hmm,
Abdo? There.
Abdo
It's
is,
Abdo.
and their length of appointment will be till the audit is finalized
So
or
we have to
completed.
appoint, we have to appoint one every year?
Mm-hmm.
That's fine.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve first reading of the ordinance?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Second. Motion and a second. Any more discussion?
Yeah, when it said first reading, is there gonna be a second or is there gonna be an actual approval of it? Of the whole ordinance?
we have to have a public hearing on it.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Another stupid question I had was, now if we have an administrator, shouldn't her position be as assistant city administrator? Because we don't have a city clerk anymore. Is
correct.
it just a title? I mean, it's just, I mean,
What is your time?
Assistant city administrator.
City clerk.
assistant city clerk.
Okay,
You know, I printed off this statute, this 412.591. It has nothing, says nothing about city administrator. It just says that the clerk and treasurer duties may be combined. And then we already, but I just, maybe her position should be assistant city administrator. That's just my 2 cents. Because I wasn't here last meeting. Anyway, that's further discussion now.
well, Tony will be back by
Yeah.
the second meeting.
I'm
When
sure we'll have
we
some
do this
input on
again, then we can ask him specific
Okay.
questions.
Yep.
Okay. We have a motion and a second on the floor. Do we have any more questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Department reports, ambulance is written. Anyone have any questions regarding the report?
We have to do an approval, isn't it? The very first part, EMR training. She asking for that right tonight.
Well, she doesn't have a cost, or does the ambulance pay for that? There's no cost.
What's the difference? I don't want to say difference, but, because we pay for EMT training, is that correct? Because we're gonna pay for EMR training, and that's the same.
They're two different levels.
Two
of
different
training.
things.
Right, but there's still,
Usually the refresher is 16 hours and what,
EMR is
150, 200 bucks or something?
EMR means
Like that.
refresher.
This is the refresher right here though, approval for them to
Responder,
complete their
EMR.
refresher.
Yeah, it's emergency medical responder.
And I know
emergency
these
medical-
three all have
That is the
certified.
refresher course. Okay. But is she asking for approval of them tonight?
Looks like it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'd make a motion to approve Jordan, Jeff, and Shelby to go through with their EMR refresher course.
I'll second.
Okay, motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, is there a motion to approve her report?
Excuse me, I talked to, Shannon Young on the fire department, and he said they approved a $5,000 payment to the ambulance so they could get their old Lucas and have it,
Correct.
On the fire.
right?
Yes,
Yes.
that's correct.
Yeah, I
So
had
that
not heard
was-
if that was.
So maybe this,
Instead of trading in, it's like on the quote that she has down at the end of the, instead of that $5,000 trade-in, they're just gonna keep
it.
Mhm.
So the fire department's gonna give the.
It should technically be amended that it was approved last Thursday to
Right.
have it. It'd make more sense because they'd probably ask for $5,000 donation. Why not just give them the 5 and have another Lucas? Because when they're not in service, that we have
That's exactly, yeah.
at least a second Lucas. Or if that one, something, there's a hiccup on the new one, there's
Yeah.
always a backup. Or there's 2 down, we got 2.
That's right.
So yes, you're correct. It has been approved to give the ambulance 5,000 for the old one, the trade-in amount that they were going to get anyways.
Okay.
So what
Not
do you,
sure if this report
you
was
at-
done afterwards, but
so you're asking that
before.
to be added to this, or are you just questioning it?
No, I'm,
it should be noted or maybe amended
Well,
that
we can
that's what's
table this until
happened.
next meeting, right? And then just have her address it in her next,
that'd be a month.
I mean,
I think they want to get that.
well, yeah.
No, I don't think there's
I see your
anything to
point.
change. It's
No.
just to be known, that's the only difference.
You want to add that, Heather?
For the next one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the fire department didn't put that in their report.
Okay.
So, and they probably should have under additional information.
But we knew that that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
We're not just assuming.
Okay, so we have a change to the ambulance report.
It is possible that we approved it, but maybe next meeting, they'd actually make the request, because I can't remember where the funds were gonna come, so they would, maybe fire would still have to technically make a request to make it official. So maybe everything as it stands is really correct, so
Yeah.
maybe next meeting and kind
I
of
think
i's are dotted on the arrangements between the 2 departments.
Yeah. I think we leave the ambulance report as it is and wait till the next,
To approve the
yeah,
Lucas.
till the first meeting in July. That's when we'll get the next ambulance and fire report. Okay. Did we have a motion to approve the ambulance report?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the ambulance report.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a second? Okay, a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, fire department report is also in writing. Okay, pump training, is that for every fireman?
Yeah, we go down to 7th Street and fill up the dunk tank, and everyone tries to cycle through on how to start the pumper up from,
Okay.
like you arrived on scene, what to do, what levers to press,
Okay.
and shut her down.
All right.
This is that process.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the fire department report?
I'll
Okay.
second that.
Motion and a second. Do we have any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion is approved. Police department report?
We've had 156 calls for service for the month of May. Total calls for this year is 1,208. Information, grass clippings, you can't blow them on the street. Friendly reminder, noted, please. Driving hazard, and it causes issues with water and sewer, plugging up those drains, and that's a big issue. I feel like I had already told you guys this, but Officer Gerard attended and completed firearms instructor
Mhm.
course in St. Cloud.
Yep.
We had one interview on May 24th. His background has been sent. And we had another interview early last week. And he will be picking up his background packet tomorrow, I think. So those usually take anywhere from 2 weeks to 2 months to come back, just depending on their attention to detail. The computer and the mount for 260 has been ordered. It's already arrived, so just have to implement that. The new radar has also come in, and that's been plugged in and up and running for the last
week, I think, since Tuesday last week. And I think that's it.
Okay,
Body cameras are up and running too.
Body cams are up and running too. Technically officer discretion, but every call, they are running. If it's just a simple question, they don't typically turn them on. But any other calls, they're traffic stops, anything, they're up and running.
I see you talked about the background packet for, the interviews.
Mhm.
Are you suggesting that, or are you determining that you want to hire them before you give that packet to them? Or is it wait until it's done and then offer them if they pass?
The latter, yep.
But you're also expecting those two to be hired if their background passes. You want both of them?
If their background passes and city council approves it.
Okay, but I mean, you
Yeah.
want both of them.
Preferably, yeah.
That's it, just was asking.
Would this just be fill-in or is this part-time?
This is part-time.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
okay, thank you.
I'll make a motion to accept the police chief's report.
Okay, motion and a second. Any more questions for Denise? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion is passed. No unfinished business, new business. You want to come back up or you want to just talk from there? Let me, I just had a couple people call me and ask about why the signs were put up there, why the city council didn't approve it. Can the police just put up signs, or if
So-
city administrator did it? I said, I don't really know. And one of the persons who called said that's really the only way she can get to the games because of a bad hip.
Yep.
And riding on the hip and getting over to watch her grandson play or granddaughter, I don't recall. But anyway, it was just kind of an inconvenience and just wondering why it had happened and was it for safety reasons or whatever. So,
So it's kind of, there's a few reasons why they were put up.
okay,
One, because with all the rain, the grass was getting torn up and they wanted to keep Legion Field nice.
sure,
And, they obviously wanted to keep the grass looking nice
Yeah.
and all of that stuff.
sure.
Two, there were safety concerns with baseball or football, whatever the activities are that are happening, that if there's little kids running around, somebody backs up a golf cart or razor, whatever your ATV, UTV
Mhm.
is, they didn't want it to get damaged by a fly ball or something of that sort, and they didn't want the possibility of kids getting, bumped or ran over.
So did this come from residents or was this from coaches or
This
parents?
was from both residents and city maintenance.
Okay,
So, and then the third thing, was, of course, with our city ordinances, it says ATVs, UTVs, golf carts, all of the vehicles,
mhm,
are not to be driven anywhere except on roadways and parking lots and whatever.
okay,
So, when maintenance brought it up, they had asked me that every Monday morning we have a meeting.
Mhm.
And we discussed at the meeting if this was something that could be put up potentially for all of those reasons. And they asked me if it was an issue, and I said, I don't have a problem but I don't put the signs up. And so they were like, well, do we do them? Do we not do them? And then the signs were ordered and put up.
Okay.
So we did discuss that if you do have a physical ailment of some kind, totally fine.
okay,
It's just those that are able to walk that we
Should be.
prefer
okay,
that be.
okay.
It was brought up at our last
That-
meeting,
yeah,
that
that
Tony
was-
had talked about the signs were going up because of tearing up the grass and also just because of liability.
Yeah, I didn't see the last one.
And I remember him talking about that. It was nothing we had to approve, but just that we were aware they were going up
Okay,
because of that.
Okay, well, that's fine.
It's something to talk down the road about possibly looking for grant funding to see if there's some type of
Make a path,
roadway path for
something.
ATVs to go there. Then it would be legal for anybody to use that.
Yep.
That would be something to look into the future to do for that area. It'd be a nice paved pathway too for that. But that's
Okay.
my opinion.
No, that's fine. That's, if safety is one of the concerns
Yep.
and tearing up, I mean, we had over 9 inches of rain in 10 days, so.
Right,
Yeah.
and I think it was right after that, or
It was,
in
yeah.
the midst of that, is when these concerns of
Tearing up the,
tearing up the grass and.
it makes perfect
And
sense.
there is more and more kids, and I've been out there plenty, and I have seen really close calls.
Really?
Yeah, so.
Because kids aren't watching.
Kids
Both,
are watching,
yeah,
they're small.
And, yeah,
Yeah, and they're little.
yeah,
I almost got hit by a car today when I was pulling away from the post office.
well, and they're
A
quick,
golf cart?
so.
Yep.
Wow. Probably when Jody was driving.
Wrong.
It didn't have a slow moving vehicle sign in the back, so I know it wasn't Jody.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Denise. Now, the next one too, we can talk a little bit about the grass ordinance. Just when you guys are driving around, you're kind of looking for long grass or stuff that's getting closed.
Yep.
You send them a
So-
letter.
Yep, so we send them basically an ordinance compliance form
Yeah.
that says, the crappy thing about our ordinances and the process of it is it's a 2-week process. So I have to give them 2 weeks to cut their lawn.
Okay. So it's already a
So-
foot tall.
It's already a foot tall, and I hadn't been looking up until, I think I told Heather this early last week or late the week before, that I hadn't been looking just because of the amount of rain we were getting.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But the process is, we send them a form, they have 2 weeks to cut their grass. If they don't do that, then I send them a city administrative citation
Okay.
with a form that says, hey, this is why you're getting this city admin citation. You have, again, 2 weeks to pay it.
Do we go and cut the lawn?
Yep, and then the city
Charges.
bills out for
Okay. All right.
that, yep.
Okay. Okay.
The 2 weeks is from when the letter was sent that day,
Yes.
correct? Not from when they
So
receive it.
I inspect it, there's an inspection date at the top, and then there's a mailed date. So the inspection date is typically always the day before, just because of the way the
Sure.
mail system works. And so then they have 2 weeks from the mail by date, or mailed
Okay.
date.
The stamp.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. That,
What's the price?
50 an hour.
So that's probably more than
That's more than
a
the,
mowing service would charge you.
Mhm.
yeah,
That's good.
and it's more than the city admin citation too. So,
okay, Denise, thank you. That's
Yeah.
great.
yeah, you're welcome.
Okay. And swimming lessons.
Okay, so, it's no secret, the stuff with St. Olaf. So we've been trying to brainstorm on what to do. We contemplated canceling the first session, but our first session, we have 31 students signed up, the second session is 33. It's a lot of kids.
Yeah.
That's good.
So there was no way that we could mix and match we unfortunately we're only able to obtain 3 lifeguards. So, we first spoke with Steele County to possibly do lessons out at Beaver Lake, but that was just they were more concerned of people seeing lifeguards out there taking advantage of that, and that just turning into a whole huge thing. So, Tony suggested getting a hold of the city clerk in Geneva to use Geneva Pool. Janelle Tufty, which I spoke to her on Thursday last week, I think. And she was actually really happy to get the phone call from us because unfortunately, they did not have any lifeguards signed up, but they had multiple kids that wanted to work the concession stands there. So they were really bummed because they couldn't do it. Well, we spoke about that and she thought it would be a great idea to completely move all 3 sessions to Geneva, the Geneva pool, open up their concession stands for the 4 hours that it would be open daily with the lifeguards there and do it there. It's a good halfway point. We've got a lot of Ellendale people. We've got some people from Blooming, even Owatonna coming to lessons. The only stipulation with that is she has to bring it up to their council meeting tomorrow. So I won't know for sure, but we just need an approval from you guys to have the okay if they give us the go ahead to just move them to Geneva Pool this year. I know I've heard a lot of people saying St. Olaf looks good, it doesn't smell. I've talked to multiple people. I don't know, a lot of people are still, well, I don't know if I would have my kids still go there this year. There's just a lot of fear over it, unfortunately. So, we'd be looking into smaller classes, people canceling. I feel like it's just a lot easier fix to move them over to Geneva.
No, that is a good fix. It's not even safe for pets.
Yeah, I feel.
Right, and it helps the Geneva community with the younger kids working the concession stands as well. They will make it very known, this is strictly just for the swimming lessons, and there's gonna be parents that have 4 kids lined up, boom, 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 that are gonna be there all day. So it's gonna be nice that they do have the concession stands there as well.
Sure.
So we just need the approval to go with it, and I will know for sure tomorrow night if Geneva's good with it.
Okay.
Because that was the only other thing was we had talked about just doing the first session out there, and I was like, no, it should be all of it, because they're not gonna wanna put out the dock, the raft, clean it up for 1 2-week session. It's
No.
either all or none.
Yeah.
Really,
So how many sessions? 3?
3 sessions,
Okay.
so they start Monday, and it's 2 weeks, and then there's a little break till after July, goes till the end of July, and then there's
One more.
into August.
Okay. No, I think that's a great idea to have it over there.
Keeps kids busy too.
All right.
Well, they get to have
And the
their
kids look
concession
forward
stand
to it.
over.
I just had a meeting with the girls today to go over that. And, they said a lot of the kids are really they're attached to them. They enjoy the kids. They have good relationships with them.
Mhm.
So yeah, it would be kind of a bummer to have to completely cancel it too, because the kids look forward to that. So,
Okay.
I think with the safety of the lake, I mean, it's probably fine, but just, it's so close to that 3 weeks. They said 3 weeks, right? That clear up. Why would we put them in possible?
Yeah.
No.
Jeopardy?
Has anybody spoken to the parents of these kids that saying that they want to do it? Still? If we move it?
I've only updated the parents in the first session so far, just because it's a week away.
Sure.
So I did let them know on Friday, hey, we're trying our last resort. I will let you know midweek. And that was our biggest concern, was letting those first.
You get any feedback from them?
Yeah, some of them, they're just waiting to hear. They think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Nobody has said anything bad. They're literally waiting to hear so that they can plan around it if they have to. So,
Correct.
I have not heard any bad comments about
Okay.
doing that. And I've talked to a lot of people about it, and the lifeguards are all for it too.
Sure.
And we don't know if Geneva's gonna want to charge anything for us.
Yes, that is one thing we do not know for sure. So it's really gonna be what we find out tomorrow, if they should.
What would we say is a killer of it then? How much cost would we say no?
I don't know, I mean, all I know is we tried to budget around 4 lifeguards, and we were only able to obtain 3, so I think we kinda have that leeway a little, since we don't have that 4th lifeguard this year.
What would one lifeguard cost be for the summer, approximately? Couple thousand?
No,
Okay, I just wondered.
no,
Well, we just
And we're
approved
just
their,
doing.
I was
Four,
trying
wasn't
to
it?
think what we just
we
approved.
approved 3, it was 12 something an hour,
I
wasn't
think
it? 12.25,
12.50 or 12.25.
4 hours a day.
I think the head
times-
guard gets 12.50 and the other
Yeah.
ones get
12.25. Yeah,
12.25.
right, that's what it is.
So that would be $36 an hour for how many hours?
4 hours.
4 hours
day.
a day.
Times how many days?
120, 130.
10.
So,
10, so-
yeah, 10 each time, so you're looking at
Couple
30 days
$1,000.
altogether.
3
Well,
sessions,
that's-
so.
that was-
Well, let's wait and see. They may not say anything. It's a service to them as well as it is to all of us.
Well, and that's kind of what it possibly sounds like. She sounded really excited about it and possibly working in the future because they have so many issues getting lifeguards there. They have no problem getting staff for the concessions. It's lifeguards out there. So I don't know, sometime down the road, it might not be a bad idea to look into just because it is a big district and a lot of people from all
Sure.
around do it, so.
Well, let's, we can make that decision when they come back with their,
Yep. So yeah, but they start on Monday.
Okay.
So we just need the go-ahead from you guys that we can do it if they give us the go-ahead tomorrow.
anyone want to put that in the form of a motion?
I'll make a motion to go ahead and go forward with Geneva Pool. If there's, I guess, if they're asking for a dollar fee, we just have to reach out to us to
Yeah.
let us know what that is, but
No,
going
we
forward
won't charge
for the
us.
swimming lessons.
$250 a day, $36 an hour.
250 a day.
$36 an hour for 3 students.
But that's right, 3, and you're just trying to figure out what one costs.
That was all for the whole summer.
Oh.
I'll do it again.
Okay.
36.
But we have a motion.
Yeah, good.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, any more discussion? All in favor of the motion? Motion passes. And maybe you want to send out an email tomorrow to all of us, just, oh, no, the meeting's tomorrow night probably, so Wednesday.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Heather. Okay, any miscellaneous items? None. Administrators report? Any questions on there? So audit presentation in 2 weeks. Okay,
When's the next meeting for anything about that hydrology stuff and all that stuff? Do you know?
I haven't heard anything different, so.
Just the stuff they have about what they're kind of estimating.
Mm-hmm.
okay, we have a motion?
I move to accept the administrator's report.
Second.
Okay, any more questions? All in favor?
I've
Okay, mayor or council comments?
got a comment, Lauren, on the upcoming labor negotiations with the police.
Okay.
I believe you guys approved to have Tony be the, and I'm not a big public sector union fan, so since tax money's involved, I think the police commissioner should also be involved in those negotiations. I mean, don't you,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
well,
it'd be Lauren, I believe, is
Liaison.
he's the police. Yeah.
how have we done it? How's it been in the past?
We haven't had to do
It's been a few years.
negotiations since I've been chief.
Yeah, I think it was probably before you.
Well, you could look at the person who started it.
What do you mean?
I started it.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, we'll look at you then.
Well, I started it because of issues with council members not wanting to budge on anything ever. So I wasn't in favor of starting the union locally either, but it was beneficial in the long run.
Okay.
But usually a simple list of requests is put together, so that's usually what was presented to Tony. He usually was a good buffer to usually negotiate with me and my representative, like, yeah, I might go for that, maybe go a little stronger here, weaker here, whatever like that. So usually it was good for him to kind of guide all of us and then present it, usually presented a more easily negotiated proposal versus here's everything to the council and then everyone nitpicks it apart a little bit. So, or you have too long of a discussion on just
Yeah.
everything. So usually he was really good at helping
trying to make it go smoother.
Make a nice, smooth, yep. Between budget and other miscellaneous stuff, like
Okay.
this is what would work, what wouldn't work, so.
Okay.
I'm not against your idea if Lauren would want to be, if that's still your forte to be involved, but that's how it kind of transpired
Yeah.
in the past.
Okay.
And I think, yeah, the last one, I was no longer part, I don't think much was even brought up because it was kind of in a lag of, I think there was a full timer, but barely, and
I don't remember.
it was really
I don't
one
remember.
of those. I know, because I was
And I'm not
part-time.
part of the union,
No,
so-
and I was
Right.
part-time, and then all of a sudden it was at a council meeting and it's being approved, and I'm like, I mean, I wasn't full-time at that time, but it wasn't even presented to me. I'm like, hey, maybe is there anything part-time would want to
Okay.
negotiate? So that just happened last time, but I don't fear that'll happen this time.
Well, Jody, how about if I talk to Tony
That's, yeah, well, yeah.
and just see
I'm just
what
throwing
his
it out.
recommendation is and what he thinks, and then we can go from there.
Perfect.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Yep.
Okay, we have a motion to adjourn.
I moved to adjourn a meeting.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. We're adjourned.
At 19:05.
Okay, thank you.
I had to have